කරගුණ දියත පතලව විහිදුවා කැලණිය පුරා
නගා කිතු ගොස උදා වූ හඬ පතුරවා සිරිලක වටා
බෑව අපිමන් පහළ විස්කම් දිනෙන් දින ලොව වැජඹුණා කැලණි මාතා අපිමන් පුරනා කල මිහිතලය මත කිරුල උසොලන
දේශයක ජීවයක් වූ ඔබ
බුදුරදුන් පාප හසලද බිම
දියත අභිමුව දජය මුසුලන
වීර විරුවන් රුහිරු පුද කළ ඔබයි කෙම්බිම කෙලෙනි මවුනේ
සයුර පරතරට යොමු කළ
ඔබයි සිත්නව කෙලෙනි මවුනේ අපුෂ්පිත ලොව සුපුෂ්පිත වූ
ඔබයි ඒ මල කෙලෙනි මවුනේ කෙලෙනි මාතා අභිමන් පුරනා One
අයිබෝන් ඔබ සියලුම දෙනාටම සුබ දැසනක් වේවා. 2022 වර්ෂය සඳහා ශාස්ත්‍රපති සහ සමාජීය විද්‍යාපති පාඨමාලා ආරම්භ කිරීමේ සමාරම්භක උත්සවයේ සමගිනුයි ඔබ සියලුම දෙනා සම්බන්ධ වී සිටින්නේ. මේ පාඨමාලාවට අදාළ දේශන සිංහල මාධ්‍යයෙන් අප සිදු කරත් අද දවසේ වැඩසටහන ඉංග්‍රීසි මාධ්‍යයෙන් සිදු කිරීමට බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ අද දවසේ අපිත් එක්ක සම්බන්ධ වෙන මහාචාර්යවරියගේ සමග සංනිවේදන කටයුතු වඩාත් පහසු වෙන බැරි. Very good morning to you all. Once, Nelson Mandela said, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. That is why all as adults trying to continue postgraduate education. It is my acceptance. There may be different reasons behind the screen. Sometimes you are expecting to make a career transition or increase your chances for promotion, salary, image or marketability. You know, experts agree that learning should be a lifelong process, and devoting time to continue education can be a journey of personal development as well. It is up to you to decide, my dear students, because the day is yours. With that, we will move with the agenda item. Well, he is undoubtedly the person to remain our LIS history. Head, Department of Library and Information Science, Senior Professor M.K. Veerasinghe, the virtual screen is yours to open up to conduct welcome speech and course introduction while continuing the program's history. Over to you, sir.
Good morning to all of you. Today is very important day for the Department of Library and Information Science. Today we are going to start our new batch. As head of the department, one of my duties is to welcome all of you on behalf of the Department of Library and Information Science. First, I would like to welcome Dean Faculty of Social Sciences, Professor Gunatilaka. He is the leader of the program conducted by the Faculty of Social Sciences. Next, I would like to welcome Professor Devika from DRTC. I should be thankful to you in this occasion also. You have accepted without any hesitation our invitation. We know DRTC is a creation of the Dr. S.R. Ranganathan, Guru of Library and Information Science. All Sri Lankan librarians respected to Dr. Ranganathan as a Guru. Dr. Devika, if you visit to Sri Lanka, if you go to any library in Sri Lanka, you will see the photo of Dr. Ranganathan. I think Sri Lankan more respected to Ranganathan than Indians, right? Okay. My next welcome go to our lecture panel. Success of our program is actually you. Since 1997, some of you are serving as the visiting lecturer of this program. No need to explain more about this program. All of you aware about the program. Next, I would like to welcome my colleagues, Senior Professor Dr. Veera Surya. He also behind the success of the program. Coordinator of our program is the Namali Suravira. He is a well-known figure in the library system in the Sri Lanka. Namali, thank you very much for you coordinating. You are coordinating very correctly at the right time. I would like to welcome you also. Finally, I would like to welcome all of you. It's been our student of the program, MA and MSSC program. You are coming from various institutions in Sri Lanka and various areas. One of your target is achieving postgraduate qualification from the University of California. In this occasion, I have to tell you, we are not granting MA or MSSC. You should achieve it. You should work hard. Some students think registration is only sufficient for getting postgraduate qualification. It is a totally wrong idea. You should work hard. You should create new knowledge for the discipline. You know, in every year we organize international conference in library and information science. At this occasion, you have to submit your research papers based on your dissertation. At this occasion, I have to tell you, this is not a local program, actually. You know, in this year, we have already decided to invite number of professors from various countries to deliver lectures. We have already collaborated with some universities in India, especially South India, well-known professors in the field of library and information science, like Professor Raghavan, Professor Satija, Professor Venkatarao Pokuri, Professor Bala Subramaniam, as well as Professor Egbert from Belgium. They will deliver lecture on Zoom online platform. Therefore, you are lucky. You can get new knowledge. As you know, Department of Library Science is the hub of library education in Sri Lanka. We conduct number of courses in various levels with the aim of providing trained manpower in the field of library and information science. We conduct diploma courses, undergraduate courses, as well as postgraduate courses. We offer number of courses for library professionals in Sri Lanka. In due course, we expect to invite to Professor Devika also participate as a resources person in this program. We have an idea to sign MOU with DRTC, Documentation Research and Training Center, to improvement of the knowledge in the region. Therefore, finally, I would like to welcome all of you as the department, at the head of the department. I wish you all the best for your every success. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. You are nice, but your eye-opening speech. And before start the formal ceremony, now we are raised for our faculty anthem. Well, thank you all. You know, due to the coronavirus disease, normally we are addressing as a COVID-19, and it's a pandemic. With this pandemic, the global education landscape converted into a distance learning mode that was quoted by the United Nations 2020. As a result, online education became a powerful platform in education globally. This situation is directly affected by university system in Sri Lanka as well. You also have to overcome these barriers positively while conducting your postgraduate studies. To address yourself under the accountability and responsibility of a successful postgraduate student, he is an ideal scholar. I respectfully invite Senior Professor W.A. Veerasurya. The virtual screen is yours, sir.
Good morning to all of you. Actually, it is a great opportunity today to address you. And before that, our head of the department and especially the Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences and our special invitee, Professor Devika, head of DRTC, and our coordinator, Dr. Namali, Dr. Priyamada, and all staff of the department, and I could not mention all Reverend Mahasangha, and I will speak few words regarding the program as well as your action and your behavior, how you have to be go with us. And before that, I have a small presentation. I think everybody can see that. Okay, today, according to the invitation, I think everybody can see this screen, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Actually, the accountability and responsibility of successful postgraduate student is the topic today. And you know, this topic is given by our former head, Dr. Namali, and the topic is very much relevant to the concerning the whole postgraduate program in Sri Lankan university system. So I elaborate this topic and this one, the accountability and the responsibility. Accountability is is mainly, it is with us also, as well as to you also, both groups. We as the department and the Faculty of Social Sciences, and as well as the university, we have a great responsibility to make the good scholarly and academic environment. This scholarly and academic environment already prevail in the University of Kelaniya. That belong to the accountability. That means that proper scholarly and academic environment to do masters and postgraduate degrees. So we are doing that one, good environment. So with the good environment, you will do your studies, because you should have a good environment to do the master's degree or postgraduate. For example, we did our master's degree in foreign countries. We did not have any kind of family barriers because we were in abroad. But for you, there are some impediment because of this family environment and other things, because you are here. But the environment we have opened to you is a good environment that accountability can be achieved very soon. So talking this one, the responsibility is lying with you totally. And welcome in this one. You know that you all are following mostly MSc in Library and Information Science, while few will follow MA program. And the meaning of student accountability and responsibility. Accountability is related to the scholarly environment as a good plant grows in good soil, like a womb of a mother. You know, womb of a mother, it is if it is well preserved, a baby or the creature will come with a nutritious manner, flourishingly. So accountability is in that context, and you are growing in that environment, which make that scholarly environment. While you have responsibility, you growth with nourishment and well-being. Student accountability, you are all the luckiest candidates since our university, as I mentioned beginning, and the faculty and the department with full qualified staff. Because if you consider, I am not criticizing other institutions in librarianship, but we are full-fledged, dedicated staff are there with qualification numbering more. The comprise of experienced, educated, you can see the slide, highly acclaimed teaching staff. So this is belong to the academic environment. And if you see the university, as Professor mentioned, Professor Veer Singh, we are inviting foreign scholars. You know, when the Pilvena was there, and later on, Vidyalankara University, there were a number of foreign university professors. For example, Chinese professor, Papa Pan, and many professors, Indian professors and foreign professors. So that culture should come to the Kelaniya University again. It has come. And our master's program, learning outcome is there. And I will explain these ones. And actually, I could not tell this one. The definition given by the education is Masno. He has given 16 educational tips. You know, student accountability begin with establishing the right learning environment. You know, accountability, when students feel connected to each other and they are teachers, this means not only teachers, actually for postgraduate, mostly the supervisors. And when they learn that their action have consequences, but because you have getting result while you are following, then they are more likely to take responsibility. You are taking the responsibility because the good atmosphere, you are getting best result. you also become the responsible person for your behavior and their learning. Then this is belong to the organizational behavior and organizational culture of the institution. Our management gurus have pointed out that once the employer coming in the first day to the institution, the treatment given by the authorities will make his future. That is the OB and OC. Everybody should know this program learning outcome of our master's program. Actually, this is, I will explain later on, but you can see this one simply, because you should have advanced knowledge in library and information science, and you should have practical skills, because you all master's students. And your program, our program learning outcome, program means that master program, you take the social issues in library and information science, while fourth, you should have research ethics and practices while you are conducting your research. You should have leadership qualities through communicating with peers and your stakeholders. You know that your peers and stakeholders. Demonstrate the personal and professional relationship with subordinate peers and subordinates, higher people. You know, seventh one, you generate solution to the problem. They are scientific and critical thinking skill too. Then eighth, manage and advocate information for lifelong learning. You should apply value, ethics, morality, and professionalism in the pursuit of their goals, that means your goals. 10, communicate with relevant stakeholders to have the best result. 11, acquire competencies in the preservation of physical intellectual content, because you are librarian. The 12th one is that you use the modern technologies, digital technologies, your librarian, academic and professional purposes. You know this, while this 12 PLOs in line with the 12 PLOs, there are 12 attributes in your graduate profile. I will explain your master program later on, what is graduate attributes and graduate profile later on. But you know, graduate profile is like a visionary, either a statement or a picture or program or diagram. In the diagram, there are 12 elements. These 12 elements are composed. If you see this first one, the first one is same. You are a knowledge worker. That means you are a smart realizer and apprehender. For example, I am doing this lecture. You should realize 100% what I mentioned. This is, we are expecting from our master's student, because you are the smart realizer. Otherwise, you didn't understand a concept or concept through the master program, it is useless. So realizer and apprehender must be the first ranking attribute we are expecting from our graduate profile. Then you should be the professional worker, problem solver, innovator and research and product, effective leader, team player, critical thinker. This will go with all those. If you see 7th one, it in line with that one. Then we will go to the 8th one, lifelong learner, ethical practitioner, and best communication, intellectual preservator. All are these attributes should be belong to you. You should acquire when you are following master's program. The digital citizen, it is in line with this last sentence. You see, apply modern digital technology for professional purposes. While PLOs are there, the attributes, 12 attributes are in line with. So you understand really what I am teaching now. This is scholarly environment. That means accountability should be preserved. Then if you go to this one, our graduate profile is there. Give me only 5 minutes, 2 minutes. I have to end wind up my presentation. This is the master graduate. These are what I mentioned, these attributes. Okay. Now we will again go to the presentation. I think okay, your responsibilities. Actually, your responsibilities in the master, you are doing master program, you should have your own vision and mission. You should develop a vision. That means the future path. To achieve that future path, you should have a mission, that activity set, or the program set, or project set. Because you should have a philosophy or vision, then you should be committed to achieve them. Otherwise, fruitless. Third responsibility, devote significant and productive time towards degree completion. To complete this degree, you should have spent your productive time and your energies. Take ownership of academic progress. Let me, you are the owner of this program, not we. We are only the holding people. And perform duties in a conscious and timely manner. Then you will get your master program. There are more than, I think, 30 people. I can say that 30 people can achieve master's degree after 1 year MA, after 2 year master, 2.5 maybe because of the thesis. If you are doing these, if you are following these responsibilities with the attributes, respect and regard our university, faculty, and the department as you do yourself, because you are respecting you very much. I know that your private matters are exposed to your others, like that you should do to our university, faculty, and the department. Use our university resources, not only university resources, including other resources. For example, our library, not only our library, other resources also. 7th responsibility, keep genuine, continuing, respectful, fruitful contact with your teachers. Your teachers means our department, our faculty, university, not only our university, other library schools and other, even foreign university LIS professors. Especially your supervisor, maybe Sri Lankan or foreign supervisor, you should have respectful and fruitful, continuing and genuine contact with your supervisor, your thesis work, because you should submit your high quality thesis at proper time. Otherwise, it is fruitless, because submitting a proper time, a thesis is a, what do you call, highest task. We've seen that people submit thesis very late without distinction. Then you should live with team and team respect, pursue opportunities that advance career as a graduate student. But then you should be a postgraduate student, then postgraduate. Actually, our expectation, you should be a person beyond the graduate student, postgraduate student. We expect through our program that you should be a person beyond the postgraduate student, that higher up. We are giving the opportunities and the academic environment. That then keep academic integrity with all course units. There are 6 course units. You should have keep academic integrity with all 6 course units of the program, especially with the thesis work, because thesis is a must. Without thesis, it is fruitless. Maintain your professionalism and integrity. Actually, integrity is very important. It goes with professionalism, because integrity means that you should have your own understanding and your own idea and your own independent thinking. I am a senior professor in the department, though I am telling you that do this, but you should be an integral man. With the integration and integrity, you should have independent thinking. As Lord Buddha said that you are the person, your head, you think about your decision. Integrity is very important for your future sake. Otherwise, you will be a person going behind other people. We did not expect, and we don't expect our department people going like followers, because followers are not expected by the university. Only the leaders are expected from the university and the department. That means programming. අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ programming මිස නිකන් අනුගමනය කරන්න ඕන නොවේති. මේක මම හිතන්නේ අපේ හාමුදුරන්ගේ දර්ශනයත් අපි හිටපු vice chancellor. 12th is the early to bed, early to rise, health, wealth, and wise. Actually, I say that all master program burn your midnight oil. Even you can stay up to 12 or 1 o'clock, as we are doing, as our Professor Anasinghe did, for the program success, not only the program success and your life success. Then you will be the winner if you are following these responsibilities with the mentioned graduate attribute and that program learning outcomes, PLOs. So I am winding up my presentation, and I must thank our coordinator giving that very time appropriate topic to me. And I think I have done justice to my topic. Okay, thank you very much. And I wish all master students a great success. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your eye-opening speech. I believe that almost all students, not only almost all students, the audience also, very important this presentation because it will help all of us to elevate ourselves. As stated by Aristotle, the roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. And we need to think about that. With that, we will move with the next agenda item. As our head of the department mentioned, even though we are arranging all A to Z substance, without his guidance and support, this would not be success. He is none other than our Dean of Faculty of Social Sciences, University of Kelaniya, Professor M.M. Gunathilaka. Sir, the screen is yours to address the gathering.
I need a response from at least one of the audience because I am joining through my mobile phone since there is a power cut in the area where I live in. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Okay. Good morning to all of you. So the thing is, I wanted to join through my laptop, but there is a problem since that I have to join with you through my mobile phone. So first of all, I would like to thank Ms. Nadika Ratnabahu for the kind and nice introduction about me. So thank you, Nadika. So to begin with, I would like to mention that Professor M.K. Veerasinghe, head of the Department of Library and Information Science, and Dr. Namali Suraveera, the coordinator of the MSSC degree programs, and Senior Professor W. Veerasurya, and all the staff members of the Department of Library and Information Science. So actually, I think that we had to switch our mode of conducting this inauguration program event to online mode due to the spread of COVID-19 virus, even within the university and the country. So earlier we have decided to conduct a physical event, but we were failed to conduct it. We were failed to do it due to the situation prevail in the country and the university. So that was so I do apologize for that. I do apologize for the failure to conduct, inability to conduct the inaugural session as a physical event. So the Library and Information, the Department of Library and Information Science is one of the departments attached to the Faculty of Social Sciences, which provides a professional related degree programs. In particular, the BA degree and master's degree are very much related to a particular profession, not like the other degree programs that we offer by the faculty. So the department also has a diverse and well-qualified staff to conduct these programs. So I'm happy to say that, because we do not have a problem of having qualified staff in the Department of Library and Information Science. So in addition to that, the department wishes to get the service of expert knowledge from India, Professor Devika, who is joining with us today through the online mode. My apology for not mentioning you, not accepting your name at the beginning. I forgot to say that, since I do not have all the information my phone, so that Professor Devika also willing to serve for us. In addition to that, I heard another scholar from India is going to help us to conduct this program successfully. So the students who have joined with us today may require or may willing to obtain a higher degree in the field of library and information science. But as a head of the department, Professor Veerasinghe pointed out, you have to earn your degree. Actually, the department or faculty or the university do not offer degrees. You have to earn your postgraduate degree by making an effort. So then you would be able to professionally qualified in the field where you are working in at the moment. So I am not trying to drag my speech for a long time. And therefore, I wish you all the best for your future studies. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Even though you are staying at some difficult situation, your words of encouragement is very important to our department as well as our students. Well, now we are moving to an important part of our inaugural ceremony. You know, we have an esteemed guest speaker from our neighboring country to deliver a special guest speech in this inaugural ceremony. On the other hand, we as a department expect to collaborate with DRTC, established in India in 1962 by Professor Issa Ranganathan. It is an internationally recognized center. So we are pleased to have you here today with accepting our invitation, madam. It will help us to keep our collaboration more stronger. And so today, our esteemed guest speaker, none other than Professor Devika Madali, Head, Documentation Research and Training Center, Indian Statistical Institute, Bangalore, India. She will be delivering her speech title on Library and Information Science, Prospects and Perspectives. Madam, the virtual screen is yours to conduct your speech.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Is my screen visible?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
madam.
Thank you very much. So I would like to I would like to start by thanking the Department of Library and Information Science, University of Kelaniya, and Professor M.K. Veerasinghe, Head, Professor W. Veerasurya, Professor Gunathilaka, and Dr. Namali for giving me this opportunity. It's indeed, I consider it an honor to be present at an inaugural of a very, very important program that you are starting today. And I congratulate the Department of Library and Information Science for having taken this step. So, and also I bring the greetings of my colleagues from DRTC and from the LIS family of India to you. So I intend to give a very, very high level overview of this library and information science and sort of put in front of you some prospects and perspectives, which I thought will be appropriate for an occasion like today. So how did it all start? First of all, going to the beginning of library and information science, maybe many of you are already trained at some level of library science, or maybe some of you are new to it. But anyway, it all started with a field called librarianship, where people are required to manage libraries, and more as a field of practice, where a collection is put together, books or whatever those days they were their manuscripts and records and all the physical assets of a library, and then they try to give services out of it. And this was there for several decades going on. But what percolated out of that field of librarianship was certain patterns, certain things that could be theorized, that could be somehow modeled into guidance for the entire functioning of libraries. So that gave rise to a field of study called library science, right? And of course, that took quite a number of decades, I can say, from the late 1880s to the early 1990s. But then gradually, the practice of librarianship transformed to library science. And then after practicing a lot of education program, formal education programs at various levels, after offering these came what in my language I call the science of libraries. Okay, so that is how we take forward this entire discipline called library and information science. I on purpose I'm using library science today, but I intend to refer to it as library and information science, but tracing the origin, it was called library science. So what it was, like I already said, librarianship was a practice followed in libraries of giving services out of collections of or whatever scholarly artifacts that were there, academic artifacts that were there in a library. Then it transformed to library science and academics. Okay, formal library education started by the American Library Association as far back as 1887. Melvin Dewey was the person who led to it. He started working much before 1887 towards formal library education, but succeeded in really putting the course from ALA in 1887. Back in India, if I want to talk, I mean, there were several other developments in formal library education world over. There was in Europe, particularly from the University College London and the University of Göttingen, Germany, also in Sweden, and many educational institutes and universities. Formal library education has started along with after the ALA started. But coming back to India, the first certificate course was started in 1929 by Professor S.R. Ranganathan at the as part of the Madras Library Association, and the first master's degree, the formal master's degree, was initiated in 1951 by again S.R. Ranganathan at University of Delhi. So this is how, and of course, after that there are various formal education programs in library information science world over. Since time constraint is there, I won't go through all of them, but I'm just trying to give certain instances of how this discipline started and how this discipline has transformed. The next one, which is rather important for you who are the students on the threshold of master's degree, is to realize that there is a science behind libraries. This is what I try to tell whenever I interact with students. Please realize and appreciate the science of libraries. And this is a terminology which I coined, and I try to sort of put it in young minds so that they start thinking about the theoretical foundations, what are there to the science, what are the research opportunities and avenues, and what are the innovations that are possible. So these are the things that really expand the horizons of libraries and then we contribute by investigating into what is library science, and hence it is now established as a science of libraries. And this has been going on, at least in India, through the profound work, significant work of Professor Ranganathan, right from late 1920s onwards, and 30s onwards, we have published work towards this. So coming to the role of libraries itself, looking at it in relation to the origin of library science, the role chiefly is always described as a support institution. So a library is to support academics, it's supposed to support research and scientific communities, and also the thought processes of communities and such things. So this is the main role that has been laid out for libraries that we have come to accept. But then there is a huge transformation worldwide where countries are no longer counted by the or measured by the amount of currency they bank. Okay, they're no longer superpowers by the how much money they own. They're no longer superpowers even by the amount of arsenal they have or military power they have. They are no longer considered rich by the other resources they have. They are all important, but they are no longer, those are not the entire centrality of measuring countries' economy and power nowadays. And nowadays, countries are more measured by, and their progress is more measured by the knowledge they possess. Okay, so the term knowledge economy is now introduced, and it has come to stay, and everything is now around how much knowledge a country has, a nation has, and how they can leverage upon that knowledge and how they can make their own mark and lead ahead of the others in the world. Okay, so now we talk about knowledge economies. And when we talk about knowledge economies, just think of the roles of libraries. What will be the library role? It's no longer only support, it has to take a center stage in knowledge economy, because the entire role of knowledge management falls on the shoulders of libraries. Okay, so this is where young people have to realize both their responsibilities and also have to appreciate an enormous opportunity this opens up for the field of library and information science, which is very a positive thing. Okay. So there are various influencing factors for the discipline of library and information science. It certainly is not a stagnant field. It's not to be understood as something that like we only deal with bibliographic items. We work within the four walls of a library. It's completely changed. There are, due to various influencing factors, I can say. Now, the first, of course, is we are user driven. We are user driven. We have to cater to the users of libraries, and they call all the shots. We have to sort of measure ourselves in terms of the satisfaction of users. So the beginning point is, first of all, the needs assessment. Who are our users? To understand them, to understand the level at which they need a service, to understand the urgency of service, and all this is just driven by users and her or his requirements. That's one influencing factor. The other one is, of course, the changing academic scene. So as we know, universities or teaching institutes are always evolving. They're always changing to meet the societal requirements, to meet the scientific requirements. So they need to incorporate all the changes into teaching and inculcate that change into the students who learn and come out of such institutes and universities. So, for example, this course itself today, for example, you can take the department is starting Master of Arts and a Master of Social Sciences in Library and Information Science. So, what impact this decision of DLIS department has on the university library? Certainly, it has an impact that there will now be master's degree students. So the library has to gear up to giving information services to a set of people, a new set of students who will come as master's degree students. So this is an influencing factor. The other one is the changing economic scene. Like I said, the knowledge economy itself is changing. So the libraries have to sort of gear up to giving knowledge-based services to this newly changed environment where we call economies as knowledge economies. And the other main influencing factor is evolving research trends. So research itself is something which means intrinsically that something evolves, right? Something new. We investigate into something new so that we can contribute back to a body of science. So research is always evolving. Researchers have needs, the information needs, and it's again in the change scenario, they need the information served at their location. We cannot expect that, yes, they'll come up, they will articulate what they want in a very nice string of terms, which are very well understood as it is. No, that expectation we cannot have. We will have to watch the research trends. We will have to anticipate what is going to come, and then we'll have to give the research support and services in anticipation rather than on demand. Okay. Of course, the other influencing factor, which is overwhelmingly discussed, is the advances in ICT. So I can say, go to the extent of saying that any student of master's degree of library science who passes out would be expected to be literate in the required ICT. So whether we did any certificate course in IT or not, whether IT was introduced to us before informal education or not. That's not the question. Now it is just expected that we become adept at using ICT as required for our field of LIS. So coming to, I have studied the program contents that is there on the website, and it's really very comprehensive. So coming to the some core areas of study for a master's degree in library and information science, I have enlisted a few here. Of course, this is not very completely comprehensive. This is indicative list of topics, but these are absolutely required core areas of study. So something like information sources and services, where we deal with the myriad, the various kinds of sources and services that we have to put together for in relation to the user needs of that library or information system that we are developing. Then the information organization, which includes organizing information at every level. It could be classification, library classification. It could be library cataloging. It could be metadata and deriving metadata, a schema for a particular collection. It could even be something like the ontology support or taxonomies and such things are all included in information organization. Library automation, of course, you might, those of you who have done at some level the a formal course in library science know what automation is all about. It is about mechanizing the day-to-day working of library to an extent that the system takes care of many of the routines, and this is very important. And then digital information management. Like I said, whether we like it or not, whether we have got any formal education in computer science or computing or IT or not, we will be expected to do digital information management. This is something that we cannot say that is advanced topic. First, I'll learn the core areas and then I'll come to it. That choice is no longer there with the LIS students now. We have to somehow inculcate and become a digital professional. We have the term digital citizen, now the digital professional from the word go. IR, of course, IR has been researched for a long, long time now, but still there are so many more avenues to explore in IR. So information retrieval is one core area of study. Then the metric studies, scientometrics, how do we trace the output, the scholarly output? How do we trace the impact of scholarly output? This is another core area of studies. And the next is the preservation and archiving. Always we are very much excited in putting together collections, whether we think about physical collections or we think about digital collections. The excitement is always to put together and then we to tell people that, oh, my digital library now has 10,000 online documents or 500,000 or whatever. We like to tell the strength of the collection. But often enough, there isn't enough attention given to what happens after a few years, after a decade or so. Will it still be able to serve out this digital information that we have today on that date? Okay, so that must be possible, because in physical libraries, we used to walk in and we used to find the books and artifacts which we require, and they would be time transient mostly. There also physical preservation is required, but not as volatile as the digital artifacts that we are dealing with now. So this is an important core area. I have included it in the core area because the thinking about this has to start at the student level in your minds, that it's not only enough to put together large collections today, but it's also equally important to think about preservation and archiving. Again, a core area, I need not overemphasize this, that to learn as in your study formally the ICT applications, and also to learn about what are the knowledge and information memory organizations in your country, maybe outside your country, worldwide. What are the memory organizations? How are they functioning? What is their content? What is their user base? What kind of services they have put together? This is a very, very important case-based studies that we could take up, and this could really enrich our knowledge by learning from the different memory organizations that are there in the world. And of course, the key area is library management, how to manage physical libraries, how to manage digital libraries, management following actually formal management principles. How do we manage libraries? So I have enlisted a few core areas where the students need to study at the master's level. And maybe because you are master's level students and you are at the crux, no, at the crossroad, after master's level, what? So after master's level, many of you might opt for career or jobs, and at least some of you might opt for research as your progression. So for all this, you need to, at the master's level itself, start thinking how you'll orient your study, how you'll use a core area of study for your future plans. So this is where you'll have to choose which of the area interests you, which has got the prospects, and how you will concentrate while not neglecting any core area. But this is an opportunity for you to start recognizing your own interest and start sort of going towards the direction of the goal that you have set for yourself. After the study comes the research avenues. So if you observe the PhDs in LIS department, many of them deal with these avenues, like many work in information organization, not as many as I would like to. This research in information organization, I would have preferred more concentration of the research community on this, but it is a little less compared to the others. Now with semantics and ontologies and knowledge organization, the trend is coming back where researchers are taking up information organization as one of the themes under which they'll work for research. IR, of course, it's a traditionally attractive area for research, and it needs a lot of research focus. So there is a lot of research going on in IR. Pure computational people are doing IR in many ways. They are doing in statistical methods and others. But we talk about IR from the library and information science perspective, and that gives a lot of theoretical foundation is there, which we can leverage upon and do research in IR. The other overly emphasized and utilized area, I can say, is user needs assessment. I don't know what is the trend in Sri Lanka, but in India, I found really a lot of people just focusing on user needs, behavioral aspect studies, distributing questionnaires, collecting survey data, and then analyzing it. A lot of attention is paid to this area. Then there is the researching with the applications area. It may be applications of IT, applications of artificial intelligence techniques also, and other tools and techniques. This is one area for research. The other is the metric studies. How do we evolve newer measures, which really will show the productivity, scientific productivity of institutes, of states, of nations, and how do we establish impact. This is important because not only to boast that this is our impact or whatever, this is very important as an evaluation and self-corrective method. the output of research in metric studies must give us very valuable indicators to have a relook at our programs and see what adjustments are required and make those adjustments. So this is where the metric studies should really, we look forward to inputs from research in metric studies. Of course, in a country like Sri Lanka and countries like India, we know that there are multiple languages and information tends to exist in these multiple languages. So the other research avenue it opens up is multilingual information representation and services, which again needs a lot of attention from the library information science research community. A brand new entrant, I can say, to the research avenues is data management and data services. In the West, it is already started less than a decade ago, but it has started that libraries have the responsibilities of data management and data services also, along with whatever they were doing so far. So that opens up again a lot of research avenues in how to of data management, what are the techniques, what are the models that are present, and how they can be researched into. So these are a few of the research avenues that I wanted to point out. And the third main pillar is the one is study, the other is research, and the third main pillar is innovation. Okay. As students of master's degree, please think about innovation. Do not always think that something is there, something is a best practice. I'll follow that and I'll become the best librarian. That's good. That's good. But always the inquisitiveness should be there for a science to progress, to grow. So that leads to innovation. That leads to innovation. And I firmly believe while we seniors are there to guide you, are there to motivate you, it is juniors whose minds are so active that they can relate one piece of information to another. They can relate the piece of information that's available to the demands in very, very innovative ways. The younger mind think in very innovative ways. And that's where you have to develop the inquisitiveness so that innovation becomes a part of library information science. So innovation in knowledge organization tools and techniques, it could be in newer IR methods, techniques and tools. Innovation can be in digital content management. It can be in service design. How do you design digital services? How do you deliver them? Innovative methods of the digital service delivery. How do we work today in a distributed online environment? We cannot think about working in silos anymore. Everything is in an online networked environment. The pandemic has taught us this even more, how significant it is to work in a distributed online environment. So innovation will come in this also, and various IT and AI applications, semantics applications. In all these areas, you can start thinking of how to innovate. Already there is something present that the state of the art is there, and how to go beyond the state of the art. This is what leads to innovation. So the career prospects of the LIS professions are numerous. Luckily today, like I graduated from a formal degree of LIS exactly 30 years before. Okay, exactly 30 years before. And those days, the career prospects were much less than what are compared to what's available today, and that's very exciting. So that to bring home that point, I have just enlisted a few career options that you can think of after graduating from masters or going ahead and doing your research program. So you can the traditional career prospects in academic libraries, maybe assistant librarian, deputy librarian, such things, or research publication manager, are present anyway. And in scientific organization, we have documentalist, we have information scientists, we have associate scientists, and such positions. Like I said, the data, very soon libraries are expected to manage data as one of the resources that the library manages. So that opens up new avenues. You could function as a data curator, you can function as a data manager or data librarian, or data services design and data service delivery executives, various positions in the data scenario. Of course, the digital library has come and it is here to stay. So you can function as a DL manager, digital library manager, digital services provider, coordinator, and such things. And then content, how to manage content itself of all the digital content. So you could be functioning as a content developer, you could function as a content organizer, or the system manager, the content management system manager. And then going to the latest, that is the knowledge management. In various perspectives, in various contexts, knowledge management is required. It could be in academic institutes like universities, it could be in corporates, industry, how to manage knowledge. So there, a lot of my students are being observed as knowledge managers, knowledge acquisition manager, knowledge processors, and such things. So through this slide, I just wanted to tell you, the new students, that the career options are numerous. Numerous. These are only examples that I could think of and put on this slide. There are numerous career options, and you have made a very good choice of registering yourself into the Master of Library and Information Science. It is only for you to now think of, I want to become this. I want to aim at this kind of job or a career for myself, and then start harnessing your own knowledge, your own skills. You start developing them in that direction. So what's good about library science is the interdisciplinarity that it brings. It is a huge, for me at least, I'm very excited to be working in this field of library information science, because it is not looking inwards only. It is not looking inwards. Today, library science transcends across many domains, like knowledge organization. It could be epistemology, it could be service design, IT, AI, semantics, management, learning management principles and techniques, and applying them to library management, media studies, many disciplines together. It is really transcending many disciplines. I've still not included here domain-based library science services, like a person wants to work in law. So how legal, in the area of legalities, legal information services can be given, or medical, you take the medical field, medical library information services, or you take geological information service. Those are domain based, and those are also specializations, and the possibilities are innumerable. So that's what is exciting about this science, that it gives you so many avenues, and you come in touch with so many concepts borrowed from various disciplines, and we lend to various disciplines also. So that is one of the very interesting facets of library information science. With that, I would just like to very briefly highlight some of the work that we did. Those were innovative, and those were exciting. The one was the Living Knowledge project, where we collaborated with the European Commission. In this, it is called the European Commission's FET project, Frontier and Emerging Technologies project, which is one of the most ambitious program of the European Commission. They give FET programs where they think that project is going to widen the horizon of a particular science, then they are going to grant it. So we did Living Knowledge project with 10 European universities, collaborating with them. But what was exciting for us was, we took Professor Ranganathan's analytical synthetic classification and made it the basis for doing the semantic modeling for this project called Living Knowledge. So why I thought it is appropriate to mention this is, the scientific foundation laid by SRR are so significant. It's so significant. We could find applications much beyond just physical library class. Physical library classification is important and it should be scientific and it should be precise. I agree upon this, but the foundation, the scientific foundation his work gives can be extended and can be applied to various things. That work we took forward in the India Trento program for advanced research projects, which was a joint project from the government of India and the government of Italy. And we worked on a knowledge model called DERA, which again is based upon subject indexing knowledge models of library science. We also worked with the agricultural community and to harness their data and develop knowledge models. Again, this was European Commission funded project, and we collaborated with 9 European universities, bringing up the infrastructure, the digital infrastructure for agricultural data, and the project was called Ag Infra. We also have worked quite a bit on data. Like I said, data management is going to come in a big way. So we thought we'll start off the work with hands-on training for people. And then we conducted a 2-week international workshop with ICSU CoData. And we repeated that in 2017. We are involved in a worldwide initiative, which I'll talk about in a few minutes, the Research Data Alliance. And we did symposium on data representation and organize. Somehow we had the benefit of some of the Sri Lankan professors and academics participating in 2019. That we stopped with that because the pandemic broke and it changed many things for the world. We also have initiated repositories, data repositories. One thing we do at DRTC is we use only open source software, which are based upon open standards to bring about open content. Okay, so I repeat, use of open source software based upon open standards to establish open content. This sentence that I just, statement that I made is called open mantra. The Professor A.R.D. Prasad and myself are the authors of Open Mantra, where we advocate for openness so that more and more scholars, students, faculty can use the scholarly output, and there should not be any financial barricade in the use of data. So these tools that I am showing here, CCAN or OpenRefine, are completely open source software. So coming very briefly, I'll touch upon Research Data Alliance. I am on the technical advisory board of this Research Data Alliance, and I wear that hat when I explain very briefly to you so that you can start exploring these, because these are international efforts which are related to library and information science. So the RDA is a worldwide voluntary alliance for data sharing. It is supported by the US NSF and various other US organizations, the European Commission and the Government of Australia through what is called as ARDC. And many governments and organizations worldwide have come together and made this alliance. So it is an international member-based organization, and it is focused on development of infrastructure and community activities to reduce barrier to data sharing. Right now, we have about 12,400 members globally, representing 137 countries. Okay, so the main mission of RDA is to build the bridge. It's the building what bridges? We want to build social and technical bridges that enable open sharing of data between researchers. So I have given the URL here. I'll be happy to share the PPT with the department so that they can distribute it. So who can join RDA? Anyone can join RDA. Anybody, you can join RDA. So there is the URL again here to register yourself. Right now it is free of charge, but soon it will not be. There will be a small charge for joining RDA. However, for the LMICs, the lower and middle income group countries, it will be quite an affordable charge. But right now it's free. So whoever agrees to the principles, the guiding principles of RDA, maintaining openness, working in consensus, working in balance and harmonization, and having a community approach, community-driven approach. If we agree to these principles, the high-level principles of RDA, you are welcome to join the RDA. Now, why I mentioned RDA is RDA works through many working groups and interest groups, what we call as working groups and interest groups. Okay. One of the interest groups of RDA is called Libraries for Research Data. Okay. So it is a group that comes together. Worldwide people participate in Libraries for Research Data. And we hold 6 monthly meetings, worldwide meetings. And what they do is convene once in 6 months. Now, for the past 2 years, the convening has been only virtually. But before that, from 2013, when RDA was established, till 2019, we used to physically meet every 6 months. And this group worked out many outcomes, but one of the things is called 23 things. 23 things for libraries. So it's an overview of practical, free and online resources and tools that can be used to incorporate research data management into your practice of library science. So I have again given the URL to this. I won't spend a lot of time going in and explaining what are the 23 things that they have included. But basically they are classified into learning resources, how to reference data, about DMPs, data management plan, data literacy, citing data, licensing and privacy issues of data, digital preservation, establishing repositories, and also the issues of the community of practice of data librarians. So that's about the library information science group under the RDA. And RDA looks forward. Why the group's work is they work, and then they bring something called recommendations and outputs. In RDA, we have not made it as ISO standards. We call it as recommendation and outputs. So usually the groups work and gives out some specification, some stand, like the 23 things is one of the outcomes of RDA. Okay. So these are the outputs, and we hope that these outputs will be taken by many groups in the world and adapted usefully for their purpose. Okay. So with that, I think I'll end here. And I once again thank the Department of Library and Information Science, University of Kelaniya, and the university itself, Professor Namali, Professor Veerasinghe, Professor Gunatilaka, and Professor Veera Surya for warmly welcoming me. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Madam, for your eye-opening and detailed and very descriptive presentation. I believe that as we all know, our students are always struggling with their research areas. I came to know that there were different types of research areas mentioned in your presentation. I think it will be very important for our students for their studies as well. Thank you very much for your presentation. Well, last but not least, she is the giant behind the screen of succeed in this event. So then she is the right person to deliver word of thanks. Dr. Namali Suravida, Program Coordinator and Senior Lecturer at the Department of Library and Information Science. Madam, the screen is over to you for word of thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ms. Radhika. And also a very good morning to you all again. And with the vote of thanks, I actually get 1 to 2 minutes to share relevant information with you first. And the thing is, now you have heard lots of speeches from beginning to at this moment. I think they all are given relevant information for us. And apart from that, I would like to share relevant information to you as a student for this program. The first one is about, we should know about what kind of topics, what kind of course structure that you are going to touch in this program, right? So you have the opportunity to, what we call, you have the opportunity to access our departmental websites to get more information about the master's program. And there you can see all the course content and all relevant informations are available. And until then, I will briefly explain you what kind of topics that we touch in this master's program, MSSC program, and also who are the one who teaching for you, because it's really important. I can remember that as head of the department said correctly, the success of these programs depend on our lecturer panel, right? So you are lucky enough to get the relevant teaching information and everything from such a wonderful panel. So I will introduce them first, and then I will do my vote of thanks in between, right? So in this program, we have 6 main papers apart from the research, right? And MA students, you are not conducting a research, but you have to submit the proposal as an assignment, right? So we have one paper called Organization of Knowledge and Information, and also Information Sources and Services and Systems, and Management of Libraries and Information Services, Information Technology, Research Methods, and Research and Issues in Librarianship, as you can see from this screen, right? And also, let me introduce our wonderful lecturer panel, right? So the first paper is about Organization of Knowledge and Information. Our senior professor, W.A. Veerasurya, and our senior lecturer, Dr. Ms. Priyanwada Wanigasurya, as well as our senior lecturer, Venerable Lagumdeni Piratnathero. They are the one who teaching in this paper, and you will be able to get lots of information from them, and there will be a very informative, innovative, practical sessions are going on, so you can actively join with them, right? And the second paper is about Information Sources and Services and Systems. This lecture conducted by Ms. Shirani Ranasinghe. She's the Senior Assistant Librarian from University of Sri Jayawardhanapura. And the management paper, Management of Libraries and Information Services, these lectures conducted by our senior professor, E.G. Ubechandra sir, and he's representing Department of Marketing Management, Faculty of Commerce and Management in University of Kelaniya. So you can see that apart from our lecturer panel from the department itself, we are getting relevant resource person from all island and also from the interfaculty in our university too. And the information technology paper is doing by Mr. Nimal Hettiarati, our senior assistant librarian from University of Rohana. And the last paper, Research and Issues in Librarianship, it's conducted by Senior Professor M.K. Veerasinghe, Head of the Department of Library and Information Science. And also we have the paper called Research Methods. The number of lecturers are involved with this paper. For example, our Senior Professor W.A. Veerasurya from our department, and our Senior Professor K.P. Siddhisena, Professor Emeritus from Department of Demography, Faculty of Arts in University of Colombo, and Dr. Ms. Priyanwada Wanigasurya, as well as myself and Dr. D.N.T. Gunawardena. She's a Senior Assistant Librarian. So you can see that the very expert panel is conducting these lectures in this program. So that's the really important thing with our program success. So then you have the chance to involve with all these lecturers and get their advantage as much as possible, because you have to be active participant, active students, although we are conducting the programs, the lectures via online. For example, from the beginning, right? We decided right now from starting point 2 until May, we will conduct the lectures online. And after that, we will see, is there any possibility to conduct lectures in a physical classroom? Then we will invite you to the university. But somehow we will manage to conduct our lectures online. So you have to be active participant, because you know that it's not like a physical classroom, but you have to be active participant to the program to get the success of the program too, right? And the other important thing is about the lecture starting date. And we have not decided the date yet, because as a faculty, all the departments are starting their program on the same date. So we are now conducting our inaugural sessions. Similarly, other departments also conducting, and we will inform you the next starting date of the lectures as soon as possible after we decided, right? So you will receive all the information via email and WhatsApp group. Please keep in touch and you will be able to get all the information. Right, now I will get the chance to thank all of the participants today. And before that, let me introduce one of our innovative program in this year, along with this MSSC program. Hope you can remember that our head of the department already informed that for this MSSC program, we are planning to have a number of key personalities from different countries to have a guest lectures. Because if we are conducting these like online sessions, we have lots of opportunities to invite relevant key personalities to join with our program. So as you can see, I have not mentioned the institutional name, but I focus on the countries that represent. For example, India, like Professor Devika from DRTC, there are a number of universities collaborating with us, and also Bangladesh and New Zealand, Australia, China, Hong Kong, and the relevant USA and UK, right? So all the countries, all important countries, there are a number of key personalities representing over there. So they will join with you during this program as a guest speaker. So then you have lots of opportunities. Apart from the key lecturer panels in the program, as I already informed, there will be lots of opportunities for you to get the relevant information from other international universities too. So the most important thing is your active participation. Right, so let me thank all of them today as a part of my vote of thank. First, our Dean of the Faculty, Professor M.M. Gunatilaka. Thank you so much, sir, for joining with us online for this program. And always he's giving a fullest support for us to conduct all the programs in success. So thank you so much for everything. And our head of the department, Senior Professor M.K. Veerasinghe, Department of Library and Information Science. Thank you so much for joining with us, sir. And also, I highly appreciate your all the guidance and information provided to us to conduct this program very successfully. And thank you so much, Professor Devika Madali from DRTC, Indian Statistical Institute, Bangalore, India, as head of the department. And I'm really happy because you have accepted that invitation within very short period, and also you have the you have very active participation each and every day, and we are looking forward to signing the MOU between this institution as well in order to confirm our collaboration between two partners institute. And I hope you will give the fullest support for us. And I know that like Professor Prasad and your team, you also collaborate with us always. So thank you so much for your wonderful speech even, because we have learned lots from your today's your speech as well related to library and information science, prospects and perspectives. So thank you so much for everything and allocating your precious time with us today as well. And next, our Senior Professor W.A. Veerasurya, and he's the former coordinator of this program as well. So I should say now it's also like a coordinator because he is giving each and every in detail relevant information to me to conduct this program very successfully. And also thank you so much, sir, for giving wonderful presentation today related to the accountability and responsibility of postgraduate students. So you have covered very vast area within a very short period of time. And I hope our all students got the advantage to listen carefully, and then hope they will encourage accordingly as well as you advise. So thank you so much for everything. And next, all our academic staff members of the Department of Library and Information Science. So without having your fullest support, we will not be able to conduct the programs like you. So I know that virtually you have joined with us, our senior lecturer, Tikiri Gunatilaka sir, and also Dr. Priyangvada Vanigasuriya, and our lecturers, Miss Sewandi, as well as our assistant lecturers also joined with us today, like Miss Iresha, Mr. Shanaka, and so on. So thank you so much for your collaboration as well as your kind support to conduct this program successfully. And again, the most important part is again the collaboration to the department from our visiting lecturer panel. So we are conducting this program not only based on our lecturer panels in the department, but we always invite relevant key personalities to join with our program too. So as I informed you earlier, there are a number of people join with number of human resources, very knowledgeable, active, innovative lecturer panel are with us. So thank you so much for joining with us today, sir. I know Senior Professor Siddhisena, sir, and Senior Professor Ubay Chandra, sir, and also other visiting lecturers, they were joined with us today for this program. So thank you so much again for allocating your wonderful time to this program. And I highly appreciate your great support in near future too. And again, my thanks again goes to Mr. Shanaka Ransara, because he's the one who coordinating all these IT related stuff for organizing Zoom meeting and then giving the links and conducting this session successfully from their part. So thank you so much, Shanaka, for your full support. And again, Ms. Sanjeevani Ratnabahu for doing comparing for this program very nicely, actively, and that enthusiastically doing this program is the really important thing to keep our audience very active, right? Thanks. And finally, I should thank all these students, all the postgraduate students, those who selected for this program. And I definitely know that you have the energy because we have interviewed you each and everybody. We know that your capacity and everything. So please be active and participate all the lectures, participate all the sessions at a correct time, and hope you will get the benefits from this program. And finally, you will be graduated as a postgraduate students from the department with knowledge, skills, attitude, and everything. So I wish you all the best and thank you so much for your again participation for this program. We highly expect your collaboration in near future through this program as well. So again, once again, then we look forward to an extremely productive postgraduate program with you all in the Department of Library and Information Science, Faculty of Social Sciences, University of Kelaniya. So thank you so much and have a good day and stay safe. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Namali, for your vote of thanks. Well, now we are at the end of our inaugural ceremony. You know, Abdul Kalam, he was popularly known as Missile Man of India. He was born October 15th and served as the 11th President of India. Once he said, all birds find shelter during a rain, but eagle avoid rains by flying above the cloud. I'll repeat it again. All birds find shelter during a rain, but eagle avoid rains by flying above the cloud. So, my dear students, try to become an eagle rather than becoming a bird. I wish you all the very best. With that, the inaugural ceremony declared closed. Please rise for the national anthem. Have a safe and nice day.
Namo අප හට සැප සිරි සෙත සදනා ජීවනයේ මාතා පිළිගනු මැන අප භක්ති පූජා නමෝ නමෝ මාතා අප ශ්‍රී ලංකා නමෝ 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 මාතා ඔබ වේ අප විද්‍යා ඔබමය අප සත්‍යා ඔබ වේ අප ශක්තිය අප හද තුල භක්ති ඔබ අප ආලෝකේ අපගේ අනුප්‍රාණී ඔබ අප ජීවන වේ අප මුක්තිය ඔබගේ නව ජීවන ගෙමිනේ විදින අප පුබුදු කරන් මාතා ඥාන වීර වඩවමින රැගෙන යනු මැන ජය භූමි කරා එක මවක